Good evening, everyone. Come on in. Good evening. This is the day that the Lord has made. God bless you. Thank you for joining me on tonight. Please share as you're coming on. Please add your likes and your hearts. Please share as you're coming on. Amen. It's good to see you here on tonight, on this beautiful Monday evening. Come on in, come on in. Good evening, everybody. Come on in. Come on in, come on in. Blessings to everyone that's joining me on tonight. Hey, Leanne. Thank you for joining me on tonight. Joe Dingle, welcome. Come on in, come on in. Hi, Maxine, welcome. Thank you for joining me on tonight. Hello, Stacy, my sister. Blessings to you on tonight. Please share as you're coming on. Please let others know that we are here. And we're also live tonight on YouTube as well. Live on Facebook and live on YouTube tonight. I have our very special guest with us on tonight, and she's going to join us in a few minutes. But I'm asking everyone to share, and please come on in, come on in. And please also go to my Facebook page. I have a video with this song, Don't Give Up, and many of you have seen it and liked it. I have over 800 people that have responded, and I thank you so much with the video added with the song, and it's good for this time, what we're dealing with now. Don't Give Up, a song that I wrote a few years ago. So please, and if you're interested in purchasing the CD, you can inbox me. I'll give you information. Also, you can go to iTunes or CD Baby. It's on there as well. Come on in. So tonight I have a very special guest that I'm going to bring on now. She's waiting to come on, and I'm going to bring her on. Good evening, Linell.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm here. I'm glad to be here.
I'm so glad to have you on tonight. And everyone, this is my very special guest, Elder Linell Andrews from North Jersey. And I'm so excited. She is a phenomenal organist, and we're going to hear about her journey on tonight. She has a beautiful story to tell. She's been in music for a long time. Good evening, Henry. Thank you for joining me on tonight. So please like and share, and I'm going to get started. Linell, how are you doing? And what's going on now with not being able to have Sunday services? But I don't know, you could be playing every Sunday in your church just with a worship team. So how are you making out?
Well, first of all, like I've been telling people when they ask me how I'm doing during this pandemic, I always say I'm still breathing.
Yes.
And I'm grateful because so many of my colleagues, friends, acquaintances, thank God no family members, but colleagues and friends have passed on, young and old. And it's so disheartening, and it's tragic. At one time, I didn't even want to touch the keys. I was like in a slump when it first started happening. I don't want to play or do nothing. And people were telling me, why don't you post something? Why don't you say something? I just had nothing to say.
Right.
Know, but I thank God that He's helping us to get through this, but
Yes.
by His grace and mercy,
Yes,
you know.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Because it's definitely been a trying time, and now that we see that some things now are opening up, some states have it worse
Yeah,
than others again, and it's almost like a repeat.
yeah,
And some of us, I know today in Jersey, with the salons being able to be open today, but by
right.
appointment only. So it's been a
Hmm.
lot going on, and
Hmm.
like you said, thank God you're here, you're still breathing
Still
because
breathing.
it has affected so many pastors that have passed on.
Yeah, and pastors and bishops and just church members in general,
Yes, a lot of
musicians,
them.
young musicians. I've been
Yes,
hearing about,
yes,
didn't know they were sick, and until too late. But
right,
we didn't know.
right.
We
Yeah,
didn't know.
because a lot of times we've been hearing in the news where it just had affected like the older people or a certain age, but not anymore.
Right.
Not
That's right.
anymore, you know.
Yes, yes.
So,
Especially in the New York, New Jersey area,
yeah, we had it very
Philly,
hard.
the urban areas are really being affected.
Yes.
Hmm.
But I thank God for how He has kept all of us,
Yes.
kept us. When you hear about the deaths, it could be a little disheartening,
Yes,
but
it
we know that
has
our
been.
trust is in Jesus Christ, and
Amen.
we're not to fear, but we are to be cautious
Right,
and
right, right.
careful and be safe. So share with us your journey, your music journey. You are a phenomenal organist.
Well,
Oh my
thank you.
God. I've been following you for a long time.
Really?
Just listening. Yeah, I go on your
Wow.
page. Someone had you on Facebook, and
Hmm.
this was a while ago. And I heard you play, and I just said, wow, because as an organist and hearing other women that play, it's like,
Right.
my antennas go straight up when I hear it. But when I heard it and I began to kind of research your background and, a writer and everything, I just said, wow, you're like the best kept secret. I didn't know, about you. I said, oh my goodness. But I'm sure down where you are, they've known
Uh-huh.
you for a long time.
Right, 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 right. Well, I've been to South Jersey many times in the
Okay.
past, at Grace, down at
Yes.
John Howard's church, many times. My
Yes.
group used to travel down that way. Even with
Hmm.
GMWA, we used to travel back up, from North Jersey to South Jersey.
Right.
So I have quite a few friends in the South Jersey area.
Right.
Um,
Uh-huh.
you know, I tell people all the time, from north to south, east to west, New Jersey is full of talented and gifted musicians and singers.
Yes.
Hmm.
True. Because a lot of times people think it's just in Philadelphia, but
Or
it's not.
just from New York,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not so.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Not so. And I'm originally from New York. I was born and raised in New York City.
Oh,
Uh huh. That's my
okay.
home. I'm a native New Yorker,
Okay.
but I've been in Jersey for many, many years. Got married and had children here in
Right.
New Jersey.
Hmm.
But New York is still my home.
Yeah, of course. And then you're not far from New York, too.
Oh no, only a few minutes, about 30 minutes away.
Yes,
Uh
that's
huh.
great. So
Hmm.
when you started, what age, when did you start playing or start developing an interest or a love for music?
Very early. I was My uncle's church was on 8th Avenue, 136th
Mhm.
Street and 8th Avenue in Harlem, and I wasn't his daughter, but I guess you can call me a PK because my mother was his sister. So I
Oh,
was always at church. I was just telling somebody yesterday I had to be there for Bible class, Bible
yeah,
study, Sunday school. When my friends in the house, I had to be at church because
right.
my mother was going.
Uh-huh.
Senior choir rehearsal, gospel chorus rehearsal. I'm a little
Uh-huh.
kid, but I had to be there because my mother was there.
Yeah.
So I've been in church my whole entire life.
Yes.
Been raised in the Baptist church.
Hmm.
Um, when I was 5, my mother made me take lessons because she realized that
Wow.
by accident,
Hmm.
I gave this story before a few months ago. I think I was about 4.
Uh-huh.
And you know how churches, in between services, you have your dinner in between services.
Yes.
So in between the afternoon service, there was an old school piano, upright
Hmm.
black piano, and I was plucking on it. I thought I was plucking on it,
Hmm.
and the whole uh, uh, conglomeration of people that were eating stopped eating. It got silent, and they were all looking at me. And so
Wow.
I remember this like real clearly, 4 years old.
Wow.
And somebody yelled at, because my mother's name was Metarine. So
Uh-huh.
somebody yelled at Met, they called her Met. You need to get that girl some lessons. So about, I say, a few months later,
Uh-huh.
the next year, following year, she got me lessons. And
Wow.
that's when I learned how to read. I hated it because my friends would be outside playing.
Yeah.
I'm downstairs in the basement, with the people that be here taking lessons.
Right.
But those were small beginnings, and I thank God for that because,
Yeah.
a more valuable musician when you can read.
Yeah. True.
So
Mm-hmm.
because of that, I'm able to read, and then I took it upon my own self
Uh-huh.
to study, go beyond the lessons when I got older, when I became a teenager.
Okay.
The lessons had stopped because the teacher got sick or something. I stopped taking lessons. I lost interest or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I always loved music from a
Yeah.
child.
Mm-hmm.
My mother would play music from jazz greats like what's his name? I can't call his name right now. Who's the one who wrote the A Train? Duke Ellington.
Yeah.
She played those kinds of jazz artists.
Wow.
Duke Ellington and more.
Mm-hmm.
Two names I can't think of right now. And she would
Mm-hmm.
play some of the white artists like Perry Como and Frank Sinatra. And then she would play classical music. So I developed a love for classical,
Wow.
And she had me take lessons for pipe organ because we had like a electronic organ in our church.
Wow. Okay.
But it was, set up like a pipe. So she had a teacher, he used to be a musician of our church, and he was teaching me how to play with both feet, not just one.
Yeah.
And I had to study what the pipe organ was about so I can play the pipe. I know the tabs and everything on the pipe organ. And it just so happened the church I'm playing for now, they have a full-blown pipe organ.
Really?
St. Paul Baptist in Montclair. So I haven't been playing it because it needs some work. So it's best not to play it while it's, in that kind of condition.
Yeah.
But it sounds great.
Wow.
So I was raised Baptist. It's a long story. I was raised Baptist, and I started stepping outside of the Baptist fold, hanging with some friends of mine who were Pentecostal. And when I heard that sound, I said, I got to have that. I didn't know what a Hammond organ was. I was used to a Wurlitzer or a Baldwin, which are organs that are more like a pipe organ. The numbers written on the tabs.
Yeah.
But long story short, I was introduced to the Pentecostal way of life and that Pentecostal experience. So after our church services, when I got a certain age where I could go on my own, I would sneak away and go to the deliverance church.
Right.
And that's when I learned about the Holy Ghost, the infilling of the Holy Ghost. And I received the Holy Ghost when I was 20.
Wow.
When I received the Holy Ghost, that's when it was like an aha moment.
Yes.
Musically.
Yes.
God started opening my ears.
Yes.
Some people are just born with the gift.
Right.
From birth. I was born with the gift, but I didn't have the ear, and I didn't understand the concept and the theory of it. Right. I could just play by memory.
Yeah.
I thank God for the Holy Ghost.
Yes.
That touched my mind so that I could understand music and music in general, not just gospel music, but because I play all genres. I'm not just a gospel musician. I'm a musician. Yeah. That plays all genres. I'm just mindful.
Yeah.
Of what I attach myself to. We have to be careful of that as being saved musicians.
That's true. That's very true.
But I do music production. I went to school in my old age. 5 years ago. I signed up with an online program for Full Sail University. It's in
I heard it.
Yeah. For music production, because I know I'm a producer and I knew about Logic Pro Tools and all that, but I really want to know the real guts of it.
Wow.
And so I signed up and I graduated in 2018.
Wow, congratulations. That's great.
I had a GPA of 3.9. It would have been a 4.0, but because I had backed out of a course and we came back. They took my points away, but
Wow.
I graduated, and what I did with me, my sisters, and my mother, we traveled down to Florida, and I walked across the stage, and I got my degree.
That's
This is what we do on the
nice.
wall over here.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And I'm skipping over stuff because it's a lot.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
When I moved to New Jersey, well,
Uh-huh.
let me just say that the church that I was a part of, Christ Supernatural Temple, my church was Mount Ebenezer Baptist Church,
Right.
my home church. And through different events that happened, I became like a charter member of a church called Christ Supernatural Temple of Deliverance in the Bronx.
Okay.
Pastor Ada Sproul was the pastor. We were all young. She started the church. And that's really where I was pushed into being a music director or minister of music.
Yes.
Our choir used to travel between Jersey and New York all the time. And that's how I kind of got over to Jersey, because I said I would like to live over here.
Okay.
But it was through her teaching and through that deliverance ministry that I really became anointed.
Yes.
Not just a musician, but the anointing
Yes.
was granted to me, was given to me through that those processes. And I'm so grateful, because the anointing makes a difference. I don't care nobody.
It does. It does.
You know, you don't have to be the greatest musician, but when you come to the anointing and know what you're doing, you can break yokes. You know, that's
right.
our whole purpose.
That's right.
To break yokes.
Yes.
You know,
and I had a discussion once where they were talking about the anointing versus the talent.
Right. Well, there are many musicians that I would say are better than I am. They may be anointed, but there's a lifestyle that you have to live.
Yes.
You know, and it's a lifestyle. And I thank God that I learned through the hard knocks that I couldn't live any kind of way.
Yes.
You know, and I'm the first to raise my hand that I've done some things that I'm not proud of.
Right.
In the past. You know, being in the church, because a lot of stuff goes on in the church house.
Oh yeah. You're right.
I'd have to shake my head, because I've seen some things, experienced some things. I call it the church house, because we sometimes allow ourselves, the flesh gets in the way.
Yes.
You know, and the Bible says, let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. Not be conformed to this world, but being transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so if your mind is not right, it's easy to be swayed.
That's right.
And I have been swayed. You know, I've been delivered from drugs. Well, I won't say drugs. I say one drug. I give this testimony all the time, because I hope this helps somebody. Let me just segue. There seems to be a problem with musicians and drugs.
It is. It's a big problem.
On all genres.
That's right.
You know, from jazz to gospel to R&B to country to whatever. Right. And I don't know what it is, but it just seems to be like that. And we have to be strong-willed and strong-minded to battle that devil.
Yes.
Because it is an attack of the enemy. It destroys lives.
Yes.
And it destroys families.
It does.
And I've seen it happen. It almost happened to me. Hanging around my friends who were indulging in cocaine, and I got hooked up with. It's a long story, but I'll just say that, you know, I beat that battle. I won that battle many, many years ago.
Thank God.
It's been going on 21 years that I've been clean from crack cocaine at that. You know?
Wow.
You know, I said to myself, "Oh, that's not going to do anything to me. I can do it one time, and that's it."
Right.
But the devil's a liar.
Yes.
And he fools.
Now, were you at church when this happened?
This happened like back in the early 90s.
Okay. Okay.
My kids were very little, you know. Well, part of that, you know, I was medicating because I lost my husband early.
Oh, okay.
You know, my children were very small when he passed, tragically.
Oh, okay.
And I could have been medicating. I think I was medicating. I didn't realize it was, but associating myself with musicians who were friends of mine I was close to, I got into the drug situation, and
Yeah.
thank God that it was a 3.5 year battle
Mm-hmm.
that I went through. It could have been longer. I could have lost my life. I could have had a brain aneurysm or anything.
Yes.
But God saved me for such a time as this.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful.
Yes.
I never turned my back on God. I was always saved. I was still going to church.
Right.
But I thank God for Bishop Jeff Banks from Revival Temple,
Oh, yes.
Deliverance, holding this church.
Yes.
That
I
did not give
remember.
up on me.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my pastor. Revival Temple was a member for many, many years.
Yeah, the choir, recording choir.
Yeah, I recorded with them over and over again.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah, some of my songs are on those albums. But
wow.
Yeah, it was Bishop Jeff Banks right before he died. I was going through that situation, and he prayed for me and all that. He wouldn't let me go.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah.
But that's why it's important for musicians to be aligned with the right pastor.
Yes, that's right.
A lot of them don't have pastors.
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I was always a member of a church, and I'll always pay my tithe and offerings, no matter what.
Yes.
That is very important for musicians to know. Pay your tithe, pay your offerings.
That's it.
It's not just about going and playing.
Yes.
And getting a pat on the back. Oh, you did wonderful. You're great. It's not about that, because God could take that gift away.
That's right. Yeah.
So I value what He's given me, and I just have. I try to keep a humble spirit, because I've seen so many who heads are big as this house, and they feel that they deserve to be who they are, or they deserve whatever, and it was so. Let me take the glasses off, because I know it's kind of shining back at me. I have been in the company of those who feel, that you need me.
Yeah.
And they hold the church hostage, and that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah.
And I've always prayed for a humble spirit, and to be able to give back to people who want to learn, who want to take their ministry to another level.
Yes.
And I thank God that, He, even through my mess, He called me to be evangelist, and then I was elevated to an elder, and He didn't have to do that.
Yes.
And I'm just grateful. All I want to do is be an example, and I just want the Lord to be able to play through me, so that someone's life will be ministered to and touched.
Right.
And if I'm asked to speak, whatever I say in my mouth, that somebody will be delivered, that some soul will be set free. And that's how I live my life,
Yes, absolutely. But a lot of times we hear, or we don't hear enough about these kinds of stories with musicians that God has delivered, because so many of them are still in these situations. Like you were saying about so many of them that are still taking drugs. I know of a situation where it was last year. It was a musician that I know personally, and he was at a church. And the guy that was on the organ said to him when the pastor got up to preach, because you know how they like to exit. And he said, I want to talk to you outside. So when he went outside, he said he couldn't imagine what he wanted, because he wanted to hear the word. So he went outside with him, because he didn't know if he was, in trouble or had to leave early.
Right.
So he went outside with him. He pulled out, some drug that he had. He said, man, I got to take this. I want to, offer you some. He's like, sometimes I just need it just to keep up with the flow and with the dance. He said, man, I don't do that stuff. He said, you doing it either. But I'm finding that it's so prevalent with musicians in the church, to where they are using drugs. I don't know, why so many of them are doing it. I know they haven't really made that commitment to Christ. They're going on their talent, and because they need the money to play,
right,
go from one church to the next. And that's why I often say to pastors, have a talk with your musicians.
Right.
What are you doing today? What's going on? See where they are, and you'll be surprised. But a lot of times, not all pastors, it's some pastors that are, I just need a musician to play.
Right.
They don't really care about their soul.
They'll settle.
Soul is important.
Mm-hmm. Some pastors will settle for a gifted musician, even though their lifestyle is off,
Yes.
because they want to keep the church doors open or they want to
Yeah.
attract. But I've seen Bishop Banks. I even see my other pastors. No music today because I know Bishop Banks because he's a musician himself.
Mm-hmm.
He would sit the choir down, set us all down, and he would play himself.
Really?
Yeah, he did it for like a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Because things were going on that weren't right.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to go without music. And these days, you can get the soundboard and plug in the iPhone, and you'll have music.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
just to make it known that I am not going to settle for any kind of lifestyle coming in to my church and playing my instruments.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
but even in this area, that has been going on for eons. It's been going on for years. And what I do try to do, they call me Aunt Nell up this way.
Yes.
Because a lot of them, they used to be in my class because I'm a teacher at Lawrence District. So a lot of them used to be in my classes back in the early 90s. And they would pass through the music rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And, I will always try to pour into them when they were in high school, let them know that it's not just about the music, it's about how you live.
Yes.
I would give them my testimony. Some listen, some don't.
Yeah.
Great. Some come back to me and say, "Thank you for your words of encouragement. I learned my lesson."
Mm-hmm.
And I have those that come to me, because I've taken so many of them under my wing.
Yes.
Like a mother hen or mother.
Yes.
To pour into them.
Yes.
Because what happens with most of the male musicians, let me just talk about male musicians.
Yes.
Because I'm a female, I'm always with guys. And I always say this, I've watched over the years how the musicians will be on the instruments, I'll be playing with them. And the females will walk around the offering tables and switch the hardest.
Yeah.
Have on the tightest. Mm-hmm. Or if there's a shout that breaks out, then they shouting over by the musicians. I just shake my head.
Yeah.
I shake my head because I know what's going on, And then what happens is, after service is over, things are happening, and then 9 months later, baby mama drama.
That's right.
And a lot of these younger male and even older musicians, they have baby mama drama because I used to tell my nephews, keep your pecker in your pants. They would laugh at me when I say it. But when we leave rehearsal, I say, make sure you keep your pecker in your pants. Come on. But now they look at me and say, I should have listened to you,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They were young then, and they were paying me some mind, but they wanted to do what they want to do. But
yeah,
it is what it is. And I just hope that their lives will be a testimony to the younger ones that's under us now.
Yeah.
The new generation that's coming up.
Yeah.
Because all of those, they're in their 30s now. And close to 40s, some in 40s,
right?
That were, under my wing. I say that, and a lot of them doing great things, playing with artists, traveling, touring, and all that, And a lot of them used to come to Revival Temple just to sit and listen to us, praise team choir, and they will sneak away and then go to their churches, and then and some of them have even been musicians for Revival Temple,
right?
And I learned from them. But that's one thing, we as older musicians. We have to learn from them too.
We do.
Because I'm not insecure. If someone is doing something wonderful, I want to go and look and see what you just did.
Absolutely.
Show me what you just did. Absolutely. I have no problem with that because I have to be relevant for this period that we're living in. So
absolutely,
I should be able to play an anthem. I should be able to play a hymn, a spiritual.
Yeah.
CCM, old school church.
Right.
New school church,
well-rounded,
full, like full gospel, full circle, And I thank God He's able me to do that. That I'm able to play all styles of gospel, church, Christian, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, because you can reach more people that way.
Yes, you can.
You can reach more. We have a question here for you.
Okay.
And this is my sister.
Okay.
Apostle Robin Taylor. She wants to know what would have helped you as a musician during your struggle from a church leader, because she is a church leader.
Okay.
So she wants to know what would have helped you as a musician during your struggle from a church leader.
Compassion, straight up. Compassion and love. compassion and love, being
Mm-hmm.
concerned about my soul and not just about my gift.
Yeah.
That's what I needed, and that's what I got from Bishop Greer, from Bishop Banks. And then after he passed, I was still going through my struggle. I was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
The bishop now, Bishop Woods, Gregory Allen Woods, Bishop
Mm-hmm.
Greer from Georgia. Bishop Greer and Bishop Woods are great friends.
Wow.
Cathedral down in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're great
yeah.
friends. And so when Bishop died, Bishop Greer had a meeting with me, and he understood what I was going through,
Mm-hmm.
and he shared some things with me, what he was struggling with. He was transparent with me, and that just made me feel so much better that this man of God, Bishop, would share
Right.
with me, and he believed in me, and he was the one that had me attend a program. I attended a drug program.
Wow.
Yes, I did, and it was an outpatient program,
Yes.
and I was sat down for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my program, and I came to church, and I sat in the middle of church and watched other people play. And I
Wow.
sat there, and I took it because I
Yes.
had to do it for myself and for my
Yes.
children and for God. And
Yes.
thank God, I got my deliverance. And the blessing of it all was that when I was attending the program, there
Uh-huh.
were preachers and pastors who were drug counselors,
Mm.
and they understood what I was going through. They're
Mm-hmm.
you're not the only one. We have all kinds that come through these doors. We have pastors that come through these doors. We have missionaries come through these doors. We've had mothers and Zions come through these doors. And it
Yeah.
just encouraged me that I could make it. And I still have a relationship with those pastors and ministers right now,
To this day.
20 some
Mm-hmm.
years later.
Mm-hmm.
God knew what I needed, and he sent me to the right program with the right people to pour into me,
Wow.
that
That's
were saved. They were
yeah.
saved.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
So,
so you're able to reach those that a lot of people cannot reach as a musician.
yes,
Those musicians that are dipping and dabbing with the drugs and
right.
in the church, because you'll
Mm-hmm.
be able to see,
Mm-hmm.
and to see what they're doing,
Yeah.
kind of see it before it kind of happens, but knowing they're going that way
Yeah.
and be able to kind of guide them.
Yes.
Because as musicians, in the front and being in the church, and especially as a female, sometimes people tend to want you to kind of lay back and not really say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians, even as pastors, because I've had to talk to a few, and sometimes, the pastors want you not to really say too much to them
Right.
because they don't want them to leave. But I said, well, what about their soul?
Right
Oh,
about
they'll
their
be all right.
souls.
They'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be all right.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
let me just go. And
Mm-hmm.
then you sat. A lot of them would have left the church if
Right.
they had to come back and sit.
I sat. I
Mm,
sat because I knew who God was in my life, and I
yeah,
knew what God had called me to do and what I was called for. And I
right.
knew it was an attack of the enemy to destroy me and to destroy
Yeah,
the ministry because I have souls that are under me that needed my guidance.
yes,
So we have to realize, even as let me tell you something. If there was more transparency coming from the pulpit,
yeah.
we would have more church members.
Mm,
We would. There needs to
mm,
be transparency coming from the pulpit
mm-hmm.
because just from my journeys and traveling and playing for people, and I've seen some things from the pulpit
Yeah,
that I was allowed to see because they trusted
yeah.
me,
Mm-hmm.
that I was very surprised and shocked. I would never name names,
Right.
but some prominent people
Mm-hmm.
had issues that up in the pulpit,
Mm-hmm. I know what
preaching,
you mean.
bishops, apostles, ministers,
Mm-hmm.
evangelists, elders, and they're afraid to be transparent, not knowing that this will bless somebody's life.
Right.
That yes, I struggle too. You
Right.
know,
Exactly.
hmm
Exactly.
I just say love. Somebody said love is the greatest thing. Love is the
Yes,
greatest thing. It's the greatest.
it is.
Hmm.
It is. Because I know a lot of times when pastors are just looking at that person's gift,
Hmm.
um, they'll ignore certain things, from them,
Right.
rather than talking to them and saying, what's going on? How's your day going? How's your
Hmm.
spiritual life? Is there
Right.
anything, even going through in this pandemic during this
Hmm.
time? It would be nice for pastors if they have not called their musician to call them. If
Yes.
you want them to come
Or
back when it's
right. Or
over,
have somebody assigned to them. Some
how are
deacon
you
or
doing?
some minister. Just to call and say, hey, you guys okay? Because a
Right.
lot of my people, a lot of my colleagues are not playing right now.
Yeah.
Thank God that my church where I'm at now, St. Paul, we do live stream. We do a recording, then we stream it live.
Right.
So I'm still receiving something.
Right.
But the point is, there are a lot who are not.
Yeah.
And which brings me to musicians who. One thing I always let me just digress. One thing I always told the younger musicians back in the day, when they were younger, don't just depend upon the church for your check.
That's right. Multiple streams of income.
The churches should not be your sole source of income.
Yeah.
Yes, they need to be fair with our gift, what we give. Yes, a workman is worthy of his hire and his reward.
Right.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But sometimes the membership falls off.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't pay the tithe like they should. And
That's
if you're not in some mega church, there might be a decline in the finance and the budget. And, they might ask to, like that happened to us some years back. When we were asked to take a cut in revival because for whatever reason something was going on and there was a little laxity in the membership.
Right.
Could we hold on? And I did. I took that cut. And then when it came time, we were back to where we were. But now is a perfect example that musicians should have some other kind of a career.
Yeah. Definitely.
Besides the church house. If that means going to school and getting a degree for teaching music, or opening up your house, if you have a piano or keyboard, give lessons.
Right.
I'm giving lessons online. People reaching out to me for lessons.
Yeah.
I take my iPhone or the computer.
Yeah.
And I have a lesson at what time is it? I have a lesson at 9 o'clock. I might have to tell him, we'll wait till late tomorrow. But a young man, he's about 12, 13. He wants his mother want to give him lessons, for piano.
Yeah.
There's other things out there
that
we can do that's beyond the church and quote unquote the choir and all that. You know? Because
Absolutely.
even with those who tour, the tours are over now. I don't think anybody's doing any touring.
No.
I used to tour. I've been to Russia. I've been to Japan. I've been to Bahamas, Bermuda, Dominican Republic. Touring is awesome, but that's not something I would want to do always. It's a great experience, but right now, those musicians, even artists, R&B, gospel, whatever, jazz, nobody's traveling like that anymore because of the pandemic.
Right.
So what do you have to fall back on? That's what we have to. We always have to have a plan B, C, D, and E.
Yeah.
To make money. Like I have conventions and concerts and events that I would be doing right now, but they all canceled.
Everything, yeah.
So my summer supplement is cut. So my whole budget. School stops. Our last check for school is the 30th. So I'm just depending upon my church.
Right.
Until school starts in September.
Yeah. Right.
So, but I do have a bank. I'm about to say it. I have a bank account.
Yes.
Okay. And a lot of musicians tend not to have a bank account.
That's right.
Or savings.
Right.
So I have a bank account that I can fall on and pay my rent and my bills.
Yes.
My phone bill, my cell bill, my lights, food,
Yes.
I had to cut back on my my plan for my cable with Verizon. I cut back on some of the frills and that we like. My plan, we have to cut back, but we have to have a plan B, C, D, and E when it comes to being a musician. We can't depend upon music only because things can fall apart like they have the last 4 months.
Right.
Going on 4 months.
Definitely. Now, what else? What could you say to choir members that are now not singing and not really sure if they're going to? Because from what I understand, that they won't be going back into the church for a while, maybe even up to a year, as far as singing. I think they're going to have praise teams, maybe like 3 or 4, depends on the size of the church, sing, but they have to be, social distancing away. from singing. So what do you say to choirs, or what is your choir doing at your church?
What we're doing, what St. Paul is doing with Revival Temple. I was at Revival Temple Sunday before last because the musician was out of town.
Wow.
But what we've been doing, 3 or 4 choir members, the pastor, the musicians, myself, and the sound crew, and that's it.
Right.
That's what we've been doing for the last few months since it started. That's what we've been doing. Now that the governor, what's his name?
Murphy.
Governor Murphy, I think, is saying that at most you can have 50 people in the church.
Yes,
at one time. So my suggestion is for ministers of music, directors, choir members, musicians, to have different groups of people for each Sunday. Like make a schedule, put a schedule together, and say if you have a choir of 50, a choir of 25, this set will sing on the first Sunday, that second, third, fourth, fifth Sunday, and that way everybody gets a chance and to minister, because it's saying that we can't be like like in the choir stand in my church, it goes up like this, so you have choir members that go all the way back, so we're singing out on each other's head. That's how they're singing.
Right.
That spittle, whatever.
I know. Yes.
Spray.
Yes.
Is going out. So it's best to have it in front of the church or in a section of the church that they can be seen.
Right.
And at least I would say from 3 to 5 choir members or praise team members, break it down to praise team ensemble.
Yeah.
And, we have the distancing, because that's what we've been doing. We've had distancing.
Right.
Between microphones, and each microphone is cleaned and sanitized.
Right.
And, we've been using masks. It's kind of hard singing with masks.
It is.
It's very hard singing with a mask.
It is.
Because sometimes I feel I'm at the organ, I'll put my mask down because I'm facing that way and they're facing out that way. So sometimes they put the mask down so they can sing. Right. But I realize if you hold the microphone like this, that you'll be able to hear the words that you're singing. So up to the sound tech, to the sound crew, to make sure that they can have the right levels, and get the right frequencies to adjust the mics. With this mask situation.
Yeah, it's a different new day now.
New day
we're going through.
New time.
We got to get through it and adjust to it. We have to adjust. Now, what are your plans are? Because I heard you say about filming, and you have your degree. What are your plans for filming? Are you planning on doing movies, or what are basically your goals, or in the future for you as far as filming?
Well, I'm not a film director. I'm a music producer for media.
Okay.
Okay. So I produce music, regular music for us, but I was trained at Full Sail University to produce music for gaming, for commercials. If anybody, you have something that you like to do, you like to promote yourself, I do that. Short stories, short film, I can do that. Right here in my house. I have the equipment here. So that's my goal, is to hook up with some company, advertising company. In the school, they come back and they send my resume out to different, but it's a very, very tight industry. Not all who you know.
Yeah. Right.
But if people like to do podcasts or productions of themselves, promote themselves, and need music, I do that. I've done voiceovers. That's what they taught us to do. So I have the equipment here and the software. Here to do that.
That's great.
That's what when you saw on my website, that's what I did.
Phenomenal. And I put your website on here so people can go and view your website.
Yeah, Nell Sound Productions.
Yes, phenomenal. I love your website.
Thank you.
So much information on there. And when I saw the filming with the gaming, I said, wow, that's great.
Yeah. They taught us how to do 4 different categories: gaming, advertisement, podcasts, trailers, and short movies. We learned all that. And I thank God I was able, my old brain was able to comprehend all that.
You did good.
Uh-huh.
You did good. God
Yeah.
was in the plan.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
The
yes.
plan. So I want everybody to hear you play. Some people have not heard you.
Right.
So play whatever you want,
Okay.
and
See if
so I want them to hear you.
I can adjust my computer. You're gonna see the back of me, but you'll hear the organ. You see it?
Okay.
The Lord blessed me with this new Hammond. Isn't that something?
Wow.
Yep, I got this Hammond Saturday.
Really?
Yes.
Even through
Yes.
the pandemic, God's still blessed.
He's still blessed. I've been wanting a B3 for years.
Yes.
I had the digital Hammond over there in my living room. I
Uh-huh.
always wanted a vintage organ, and he blessed me with it. So I'll play a little something.
Okay.
Okay. I like hymns. I can play all the new stuff.
Yes.
I love hymns.
Yes.
I'm gonna put the
Whatever you
microphone
want
back.
to play.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what else to play.
You got a gospel one?
Take my shoes off.
Hey, Linell. Lamar Campbell is on.
Yes.
And he said he wanted you to play more than anything.
Oh wow. The writer Lamar Campbell? Oh my goodness. Okay, he put me on the spot. Okay, let's see if I remember.
Okay.
Oh, honored. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Lamar. I had to remember your song. I haven't played that in a long time.
He said yes, he was enjoying it.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Get the mistakes. I had to get my head together.
Yeah, it was okay. Everybody's commenting.
I love that song.
Everybody's commenting that they loved it.
It's one of my all-time favorites.
Yes. Get your microphone.
Oh, yes.
Does anyone else have a question they'd like to ask Linell?
Can you hear me now?
Lamar, yes. Lamar said, he said, she has taken us up. You did great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, and everybody loves the song.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
I'm honored. I'm humbled.
Yes.
Because the world sings your song, Lamar. The world sings your song. beautiful.
They do. I just interviewed him. I think it was one day last week, and
Really?
he has a phenomenal
Wow. I'm sorry I missed.
journey and testimony too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
He's a blessing.
yes. Anyone else? I think I saw. They say yes, true. The organ brings you in the presence, because someone else had commented about the
Uh-huh.
organ brings them into the presence of God.
Mm-hmm.
And this young lady, her name is Tina, and she's a worship leader. And she said, the organ helps me want to sing like
Mm-hmm.
I'm right in the presence of the Lord. I love the organ.
Yes. My daughter always says that the organ, the Hammond and the Leslie, even though those are two different companies, they were made for each other.
That's right.
This is an instrument that was sent from heaven.
Yes. It's a marriage,
Hammond is heavenly.
isn't it?
But you have to take care of it though.
You do. There's nothing like it.
Nothing worse than a bad sounding Hammond.
Oh, I can tell you some stories.
Uh-huh. I played some bad ones.
Me too. I've had it where some keys were even missing.
Mm-hmm. But that's very key. If there are any pastors on here listening, it's very key for you to take care of your instruments.
That's right.
If the pedal goes out and the organist says the pedal is out, the switch isn't working, a key is broke, get it fixed. Don't wait till it's too late, because
That's it.
if you don't fix it, it's going to get worse.
That's right.
A lot of
And
churches
that's
problem.
usually what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And Lamar said that he loved the hymns.
I was raised on the hymns, Lamar. I can't help it.
Yes.
I'm real churchy. I love jump, shout. I love it all. I can do it all.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the Hammond and the hymn is it for me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I don't think anyone else, I was trying to see if anyone else had anything they wanted to say. But I want to thank you so much for this time. I learned so much from you. It's very encouraging. Your testimony
Thank you
and
for
being
having me.
transparent, and then you're putting the icing on the cake is the playing. I just love to hear you play. I listen to you quite a bit playing,
Wow.
because you always record yourself in church.
Right.
And you can take us, you know how to take us to church, that's for sure.
Well, thank God for that.
Yes, and then
Thank
you play
God.
the hymn so well, and you know how to really back up a preacher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! Just listening to you, I got lost. I didn't even listen to the preacher after a while. I was really listening at you playing.
Well, I've come up with some very, very fiery deliverance preaching in my day,
Yeah.
and that just developed me over the years. And
Yes.
I thank God for that experience. I thank God for the Baptist experience as well as the Pentecostal experience, because
Yes.
it makes me a full circle.
Yeah. Full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I try to tell musicians, try to play it all. Learn it all.
That's
Not just
right.
gospel.
Yeah.
Because our music, gospel music, is Caribbean, it's Latino.
Mm-hmm.
The old school gospel is it's everything. We have to play everything. So it's
Right.
good to learn it all,
Absolutely.
especially the hymns.
Yes. And we need the hymns.
Yeah.
Lamar says that sounds like a great project for you, Hammond and hymns. That's good, Lamar. Yes.
Keep asking me to do that. I'm kind of a bashful person.
Yeah.
Even when I first started out, I lay back in the cut, Larry Bells did everything, but God pushed me to the front.
Yes.
But Lamar, I will definitely work on that, because I've been asked to do that, in fact, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you should.
And maybe I'll reach out to you to give me some pointers. You can help me out.
Yeah.
That would be a blessing. I would love to do that.
That would be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And someone else says, my sister says, this was excellent. This needs to be shared.
Okay.
Yes, I want everybody to share it.
God bless.
And it is on YouTube as of now.
Okay.
It's on YouTube and it's on Facebook.
Great.
But like I said, your testimony and what God has done for you, in your life, it needs to be heard. It needs to be heard. So I think sometimes musicians can get caught up, and not just musicians, pastors, singers can get caught up in things with drugs and other things, alcohol.
One big one. I'm trying to get the camera. Sex.
Yes.
And it's been going on for years.
Yes.
I've seen it as a small child. Musicians and that sex thing and ministers too.
Yeah.
The flesh. That's why we have to be very careful because the devil knows how to distract us. With
That's right.
this stuff right here.
Right.
And I've been distracted.
Yes.
Um, like I was talking about with the young men with the baby mama drama stuff.
Yeah.
The praise team members pregnant by the musicians. That's just like happening all the time.
All the time.
That's the new norm, and it's sad because um, children are being born out of wedlock in the church. And
Yep.
so we have to set the example. But I
We
do thank
do.
you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Oh
I'm
yes.
humble. I'm honored to be here, and I hope something I said bless somebody. And anytime you need me, call me. When this pandemic is
Yes.
over, I'll come through.
Yes, we'll
I keep
do.
my mask on, my Lysol, and my uh my hand sanitizer. I keep in my knapsack when I go
Yeah,
out. Mm-hmm.
that's right. You got to be safe.
Gotta be safe.
You have to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thank God for your, like I say, your ministry and
Amen.
what God is doing in your life and being able to be transparent. Because a lot of people cannot be transparent to tell what they've done and where they've come from, where God has brought them from. But
Right.
thank God, that you've done that. And I'm looking forward to more of your gaming with the filming and the podcasting and the
Right.
voiceover. I'm looking forward to hearing more of that. And
Mhm.
hopefully, people that are watching, if they need that, will be able to reach out to you
Right.
and to utilize your services because you
Amen.
have a lot to offer. And I think it would be great.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for the exposure, for the platform.
Oh,
And thank
you're
you so
welcome.
much. And I'm so grateful. So grateful.
And I'm so grateful to have you that you accepted, without, you know, other things. And, I don't know. And, what is this all about? Just your honesty and just
Right.
coming through was
Right.
great for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. And you're welcome. You're
And
welcome.
you're welcome also. And I thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm
Mhm.
going to have you come back, especially if you're going to do that CD with the hymns.
Yes, I'll have my kids sing because my kids are gifted. They got all the vocals. I didn't get that. Uh,
Right. Wow.
my daughter and my son are singers. My niece a singer. You probably
Wow.
know my niece Tiffany. She was on what was that? Sunday Best.
Okay. I don't think I followed up too much this last time.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going,
She was one of the runners up on Sunday
really?
Best. Yeah, and so she's been doing her thing with that. Tiffany Andrews.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Wow. That's great.
be around me 'cause that's how my group started with them.
Uh-huh.
Little, the Andrews family.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so they all doing their thing now.
Yes. Wow. And they have a great mother to work with them.
Praise God. Thank God.
And speaking of Sunday Best, on this coming Thursday, I
Okay.
have Jeffrey Golden that will be my guest,
Oh, good.
along with some worship leaders. My niece, Sasha Foster, will
Okay.
be on, and William Carter. So we'll be discussing worship with the millennials. So I
Yeah.
want to talk to them. And Jeffrey will be headlining that. So
Mhm.
that's going to be this coming Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remind me. Inbox
Yeah.
me.
Yes, I will. I
Okay.
will.
Alrighty.
And Lamar said that you are awesome.
Thank you, Brother Lamar. I am so humbled by I'm in your presence. How they do.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm
Right.
so humbled. God bless you and God bless your ministry. And
Yes.
God bless you to all those who are here, who are ministers of music, musicians, artists. Let God use you. Let Him speak to you, and especially
Yes.
time of being in our houses.
Right.
Best time to develop that worship relationship with Him.
It is.
I've been having church by myself.
Yes.
I really have. I'll
Yes.
YouTube, whatever, and be in, right, sit right on my sofa in my living room.
Hmm. Yes. And that's a good way to do it. But this is a time of
Mhm.
refreshing for all of us
Yes.
while we're home
Hmm.
to spend time with the Lord and that riffing and running because I found myself really doing more resting than ever before.
Than ever before. Before March the 15th, our last service was March the 15th, which was
Yes.
Wednesday, ripping and running, rehearsal, coming in 11, 12 o'clock at night, getting up for
Yeah.
work, school, rehearsal, rehearsal, rehearsal. That was my life
Yeah,
since January.
I
You know,
know.
and then for
Yeah.
been doing this um, gospel house music. My project came out, the single came out,
Uh-huh.
gospel house, all hours of the night, and
Hmm.
I've had a chance to really rest this body, and
Yeah.
I thank God for the rest. I needed it.
Me too. I
I
was
needed
happy about the rest. At first, I didn't know quite what to do because I'm so
Me
used to,
neither. So what
you
do
know,
I
we,
do? What
huh?
do I do? I said, what do I do? That's what I was asking myself. What do I do next?
I know, just relax. Because I'm
Relax.
so used to, like you said, 2 or 3 rehearsals a week. Then
Yeah.
you have all day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Then you start back up again.
Yeah.
So this rest was like, oh wow, what am I going to do?
Hmm.
But it was good. It
Hmm.
was good.
Good.
It
It
was
was good.
good. And I thank you so much. And I thank everyone for joining us. Those of you that made your comments and likes and shared this, I really, really appreciate you. And I hope you will join me again on Thursday. And I have some more phenomenal people coming on next week and in July. God has been good to me and to Real Talk, being able to bring people on that have something to say and something to share.
Mhm.
That'll be a blessing because I believe in whatever I have or whatever. And if I know someone that has it, I like for them to share it
Yes.
with others because that's what it's all about, sharing and helping others.
Well, you know, the old song says, "Let the works I've done speak for me."
Speak for me.
hmm
That's
And the
right.
only way to do that is you have to share it.
That's right.
You hear- So many times I hear musicians playing my style.
Right.
You play my stuff, right? So, auntie, 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 they laugh at me. I say, I'm playing my stuff. But
Right.
that's like a pat on my back, that they hear something that I'm doing that has encouraged them in
Right.
their own style of music.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. But it's nice when people can play your style.
Yeah.
Some
Man.
people get upset about it, but I have no problem with that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Like you said, it's about sharing.
It's about sharing.
It's about sharing.
Hmm.
So I'm going to say good night to all and thank
Okay.
you again and hope to see everybody on Thursday night to join me again with Real Talk with Cindy. And my special guest on Thursday night will be Jeffrey Golden, Sunday Best winner a few years back, Sasha Foster, William Carter, and I have another guest that will be joining us as well. So I
Hmm.
hope everybody will tune in on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. And I'm going to say good night to all. And
Good
Linell, you
night,
hold
everyone.
on.
Thank you so
Good
much.
night.
Blessings.